What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy BGC, aka Bands Go Crazy, and I'm back with another reaction, man. Hey, y'all can see what I got for y'all today, man. We got cops discover car filled with serial killers victims. That's crazy. You have a car full of dead bodies? You are actually crazy. I'm not gonna lie, like that. This shit is about to be heavy. Oh my goodness, this is about to get crazy, man. But hey, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. Road to 1,000 subscribers over here, man. If you haven't already, man, hit that sub, man. What you doing? Especially you returning viewer, man. Hit that sub button, no cap. Hey, without further ado, let's get right into this reaction, man. If you got any constructive criticism, let me know down below in the comments, man. If you got any videos you want me to react to, also let me know in the comments, man. I appreciate everything, no cap. Let's do it.
This video was brought to you by Simply Safe. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Shout out Simply Safe.
Police just arrived.
Rest in peace to all the victims in this video, man. This is sad because serial killers, usually when it's a serial killer, it's mean more than two, I believe. I don't know if they just counted serial once you got more than one body. Oh yeah, you serial killer, which would still make sense because it's two people. You're going crazy, but yeah, let's see.
At an airport
Rest in peace to all the
victims to investigate
in this video,
reports
man.
of an abandoned
This
truck.
shit is sad.
Initially, it seemed like just another routine call with nothing unusual, but that's when it hit them.
Kind of smells. I think it smells like decomp. I can smell something.
Inside the truck lay four brutalized dismembered bodies hidden inside boxes.
Hold on. Let's get that full shit.
Inside the truck lay four brutalized and dismembered bodies hidden inside boxes. What
Oh my
officers didn't know at
God.
the time is that 11 more bodies lay buried and hidden in remote areas of the state. An active, twisted serial killer was on the loose, and detectives were already months
Oh my
behind.
gosh.
You remember the last time you saw him?
Maybe a couple of months ago.
We don't care about anything else other than finding Mac, Jennifer, and Justin. Whoever did that is our focus.
I tied everything together yesterday when he did that. You know what I mean? Like, I know he lost them three, man. I know he did.
Taking these
Oh
other
my
11,
gosh,
take
okay.
them all to the same place? If you ever came back out to New Mexico, would you be willing to take us?
Wow. I ain't even sparked my blunt up. This is crazy, bro. This is the type of shit that get you chills, boy. For real.
It
Real,
started
boy.
on a Sunday afternoon when police in Grants, New Mexico received a mysterious call. A landlord had just discovered something he described as disturbing while cleaning out an evicted tenant's home. Officers immediately headed to the address to investigate.
So this guy hasn't paid us since July, but with COVID going on, we couldn't evict him, so we've had nothing but problems with him. Anyways, we finally got him to move out, so I seen him today. We haven't come by, we haven't messed with him. We're afraid to kick his ass, you know. When I came by, he says, I'm gonna leave you a pile to throw. Well, we didn't know which pile, so we started to load it up. While we were moving some things, and we found this puppy in this box underneath some of.
A dead puppy? Oh, nah, this nigga crazy. This nigga's a psycho. Like, no bullshit. Bro, you left a dead puppy in a box? Now you, like, not saying it would have been better if it was a full-grown dog, but, like, nigga, a puppy?
The kid stuff.
That's
you know?
some inhumane
So we
shit,
go to
boy.
put the puppy in the bag because we were gonna bury it, and then we see that they had tied a cord on its.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we've had, like I said, nothing but problems with these guys. So I at least want to put a report on file. I know we won't be able to say who did it and when, but that needs to be associated with him, you know, because we're gonna take him to court for a lot of other things, and if I can just have that on file, it'll help.
Okay.
It was clear the puppy had suffered a horrific death. Animal control arrived shortly afterwards and confirmed it had been deliberately tortured, noting a cord tied tightly around its neck.
No.
The cruelty of the scene was deeply unsettling.
Gang,
The
no, what's going on,
immediately
cuz?
recognized
This
they
is
were
crazy,
dealing with
bro.
someone truly twisted.
Nah, this nigga's fucked up in the head, for real, man.
That's just sad. That right there just
That
really
is.
it's like that's not cool at all.
No. Absolutely. Cruel, awful people.
Yeah, we tried to get in. The landlord, the owner, he tries to go into his house. They went in, they painted everything their own colors, and they just ruined everything.
Unfortunately for investigators, the puppy was just the first body. And in the coming days, police would uncover more gruesome scenes.
We watching cops discover car filled with serial killers victims, bro. Off rip, this nigga done already got some shit going where he done killed a puppy. Oh yeah, YouTube. If you seen this on YouTube, man, tap into the streams at Bands Go Crazy. I'm talking to my chat right now if y'all don't know, man. But yeah, we watching this. This shit's crazy, yo. I ain't gonna lie. He already, and off the rip, in the beginning they said they found 4 victims in boxes in the car. And then they come into escort this dude out the house. I guess they finally got him evicted. Well, they was trying to evict him, and I guess this was happening around COVID because he said he blamed like COVID was the reason why they couldn't really get in. You know what I'm saying? So obviously this is peak COVID probably. And then so they coming to throw out. He said he left a pile of stuff for them to throw away, and they go to the pile, and there's a dead dog in there with a cord wrapped around his neck, yo. That's crazy, man. Like, that's crazy, man.
The first body. And in the coming days, police would uncover more gruesome scenes, strange disappearances,
this is crazy,
and disturbing evidence pointing to something far more calculated than anyone expected. That same day, Detective Robert Turney was assigned a missing persons case involving 19-year-old Matthew Miller. Matthew's grandmother had called 911 a couple of days earlier, worried because she hadn't seen or heard from him in nearly a week. It turned out police were already familiar with Matthew and knew he had previously struggled with substance abuse. So initially they assumed his disappearance was drug-related. Maybe he overdosed somewhere. But Matthew's family insisted something was different this time and urgently requested to speak with detectives. Trusting their instincts, Detective Turney decided to visit Matthew's grandmother, where he would discover some unsettling new possibilities.
2 other people. Hold on. There's no way he went missing with 2 other people, right? 3 people going missing, bro. That's either that gotta be like 10 niggas on a job, bro, or them niggas is probably like gone, like, unfortunately, bro. This shit is, bro, this is insane. We're in the first 4 minutes. We still got 46 minutes to go.
So you guys can help me out by just calling around to hospitals, clinics, rehabilitation places, other county jails, and just see if he's there. So prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Okay, but I will tell you, I had more than enough to arrest Matthew several times, and he's not one of those people that I wanted to arrest. Matthew is not going to pull a gun on anybody, right, to get his drugs.
Yeah, no.
He's not that kind of person.
Yes, that's my main fear.
And he probably has a little bit of a complex because he knows.
Yo, this is sad, man. And as a mother, it's like she just wants. I know she probably wants what's best for him, but he's so addicted to them drugs, bro. And he probably tried to get her off. So it's like, bro. I mean, she probably tried to get him off, and it probably just got to that point where it's like, bro, I just gotta let you do my whole thing and just pray to God that you stay safe. That'd be one of them things. Sometimes you just gotta let people learn on their own, bro. I forgot how that saying goes. It's like you can only bring a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. Something like that. You can only do so much for a person. You can't force them to do anything, bro. So it's tough being a mother in this predicament, man. This is sad.
The actual truth about this person took advantage of me.
Yeah, no, he
Just forgive him. All you can do is tell him you love him and you forgive him and go from there.
After rehashing some information
literally,
with
bro.
Matthew's family, Detective Turney would go on to learn some critical details. Matthew's girlfriend told the family she saw him getting into a vehicle with several other people, including a blonde woman named Jennifer Lannon, someone Matthew had recently been spending time with. He also learned that Matthew often spent time with a close friend named Justin Mata and his girlfriend, Leonie Calzada. All three were known to use drugs together. Acting quickly on these promising new leads, police began searching locations Matthew was known to frequent, and soon enough, they located Matthew's Chevy Colorado truck parked and seemingly abandoned within a few blocks away from Leonie and Justin's residence. The truck was dirty, locked, and appeared to have been parked there for several days. Inside, detectives found clothing and personal belongings, as well as several unsettling items, including a pen.
Rubber gloves, a shovel. I ain't gonna lie, this rope right here kind of a little suspicious, but it could be like a little shit to like, you know, hold shit in place, you feel me? But that's suspicious.
Pair of rubber gloves and a shovel lying in the truck's bed. They also found multiple cell phones that were damaged in the front and back seats. It seemed clear Matthew hadn't intended to leave the truck there, and detectives sensed something wasn't right. Immediately, investigators canvassed the area and found surveillance cameras nearby, one of which captured Matthew's truck arriving at Leonie and Justin's address on January 26th, just 3 days before Matthew was reported missing. With these new alarming discoveries, Detective Turney knew the next logical step was to urgently speak with Matthew's friends, Justin Mata and Leonie Calzada, hoping they could shed some light on the situation. However, when they arrived at the couple's residence, they would quickly realize Matthew wasn't the only one missing.
Bro, what? There's no way all four of them. Because he said the girl that he hang out with, then the friend and the friend's girlfriend or wife. I can't remember if he said wife or girlfriend. But yo, what?
No, just you? You sure? Okay, if I come in? Hey, guys. My name's Robert. He's gone. He gone? Yeah. Hey, buddy.
Oh man. The kids always gonna tell the truth, man. He already said he gone. That's immediately what he said. He gone. He in his mind, he probably already somewhat have an understanding of like, okay, they probably here looking for him, and he's not here because he probably, if he got in trouble with I'm not saying he did, but he might have gotten in trouble with the law, and they be saying, I mean, they probably been seeing him like the law pull up there, so he probably knew who they was coming for, or he's just been going long enough that they know like, yeah, he's not here. I don't know, man. Either way.
Okay.
This is Leonie Calzada, the girlfriend of Matthew's close
kids
friend
be
Justin
going through,
Mata, and
This
someone
should be
detectives
sad.
suspected might know exactly what happened to Matthew.
This is very, very important. We're looking for Matthew Miller. He's been missing for over 2 weeks. When was the last time he was here?
Maybe a year ago, maybe?
A year ago?
When I first got this place, yeah. When I first got it, last January.
He hasn't been here since then.
Look, I know it very well.
What if I got video of his vehicle?
Maybe there's things happening here, but I don't have it myself.
Okay. When was the last time you saw him here?
When he was in the place, once you bring over, I first got this place.
A year ago? You think Justin would have?
He would have, yeah, probably.
When you weren't here?
I wouldn't hear or intention, yeah. Because they said all that, yeah. But he left on 17th and came back. And then
17th, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, and then I went to talk to the guy in Kingman. He's like, yeah, they left each other during the night and they're in Arizona.
Do you have any kind of way to contact Justin? You have a phone number?
No, he just left him to go.
Well, what's his phone number?
What? Did she like report anything about like this is crazy? What, like this is just, I don't even know. She said he left on the 17th and he said that's a long time ago. I don't know what the date is of it right now, so obviously that's probably
He took my phone and my phone it's not working. Took my phone, yeah. Took a wife.
When's the last time you had any kind of communication with
That's
Justin?
when he said to go buy Cokes. He's like, go buy Cokes. And then come in.
What I would like to do, all right, is look around your house for any kind of evidence of Matthew Miller or any kind of foul play. Not looking for anything other than that.
According to Leonie, her boyfriend, Justin, had also mysteriously vanished, and she hadn't seen him since January 17th,
So
nearly
3 weeks
2
ago.
weeks before Matthew was even reported missing. But investigators knew something wasn't adding up when Leonie insisted she hadn't seen Matthew in nearly a year. Surveillance footage clearly showed Matthew's truck outside her residence just
Yeah.
days before he disappeared. With their suspicion mounting, detectives decided to search Leonie's home, hoping to uncover whether she might be hiding something. Or someone.
Did you notice anything strange that happened around here? Did you notice anything different around here? Like signs of any kind of blood? Needles?
Hold on, hiding someone. Wait, whoa. I just peeped what he like. It just like I was realizing, but there's no way somebody's about to pop out.
Yeah.
Phone calls and shit, man. My bad.
Sorry. Okay, I can only find one person dead in a trunk per year. That's my max.
Despite their best efforts, investigators found no signs of foul play or violence. Still, Detective Turney couldn't shake the feeling that something was overlooked, so he returned to speak briefly with Leonie, unaware she'd drop a crucial clue.
Okay.
The 17th, just in Mecca with
Arizona.
Yeah, with Jen Penning
As of the 17th
of January. He left with his wife.
Leonie revealed that Justin had recently taken off with another woman named Jennifer, supposedly heading to Arizona to re-up on drugs and make some money. With this new detail, Detective Turney now found himself investigating the disappearances of 3 different people: Matthew Miller, Justin Mata,
And they said, and the female said that he was in the car with all 3 of them. So if he left with her, they probably went to go pick him up. Bro, this is crazy. This is deep.
and now
This is actually
potentially
insane.
Jennifer, not yet aware just how closely connected these cases really were. So to move forward, Turney quickly looked into Jennifer and discovered she had recently been reported missing by her ex-husband, Sean Lannon. That name sounded familiar to Detective Turney, because just days earlier, officers had responded to a disturbing call at 817 Kingman Avenue, the same property where the remains of a puppy had been uncovered, and the tenants evicted from that very house, Sean and Jennifer Lannon. Finally, investigators were starting to connect the dots. 3 people, all closely linked through drugs and personal relationships, had vanished within days of each other. Detective Turney realized it was time to canvass the neighborhood surrounding
This shit
Sean
is-
and
this
Jennifer's
shit is
former
deep, y'all. I
home,
ain't gonna
hoping a
lie.
neighbor might have seen something suspicious or could offer the lead they desperately needed. That's when they found a neighbor whose security camera was pointed directly at Sean and Jennifer's old residence. And what the investigators saw on the footage would finally bring some much-needed clarity to their case. Without this neighbor's camera, detectives might have hit another frustrating dead end. And it shows just how important reliable security can be. Because when something happens to prevent security spotlights and trigger a 3 a.m. whenever there's motion me front long-term, if you're free, like Simply Save.
He good. He
On
good with
January
mags.
26th, Matthew is seen entering Sean's home, but investigators never see him leave. Hours later, Sean is spotted on camera driving away in Matthew's truck, and when he returns, he's alone, on foot, and Matthew is nowhere to be seen. 2 days later, on January 28th, the same camera recorded someone loading household items into a red Dodge Dakota parked outside the residence and driving away. This CCTV footage marked a critical turning point for investigators. For the first time, detectives had visual proof of Matthew at Jennifer and
Yo,
Sean's.
his editing is fucking nice. His editing is so nice. I'm not gonna lie.
residence. With this significant new lead, the next step was clear. Detective Turney needed to speak directly to Sean. Only his account could clarify what happened that day and potentially reveal crucial details about the missing trio. The next morning, Detective Turney reached out to Sean and agreed to sit down for a formal interview. Whatever Sean said next had the potential to shift the direction of this case completely.
So, first things first, let's get her into this missing. Okay. Have you ever seen Matthew Miller? You know who I'm talking about? Was he over at your house?
Yeah, it's been 4 weeks. And I ran a case, but it's definitely been about weeks.
Before the 3rd? Was his truck ever parked at your house? For more than like a day, overnight?
I'm not sure.
Have you ever driven his truck? You've driven his truck? When was the last time you drove his truck?
A couple weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago? So, again, when did you find out that they split and took off to Arizona, ran away together, whatever?
It was 7 weeks ago. Came back every week. Come back.
Did you have anything to do with Jennifer's disappearance, Matthew's disappearance?
I don't think
Do
they felt
you think something bad happened to Matthew and Jennifer?
I know Jennifer drug insurance used to be there when she came back with more bills than I could imagine anybody would have. She let those.
Man, I just got a really, really bad feeling about all this.
I do.
You don't seem.
I've been in this circle for a minute.
Has she ever done this before?
Yeah.
During the interview, Detective Turney notices something strange. Sean remains unnervingly calm, especially considering his ex-wife and the mother of his 3 young children has just vanished.
Facts,
Turney begins to
like,
question whether Sean
I
is...
know that shit ex, but like, still the mother of your 3 children, bro. You got to think about the children at that point, boy. They can't lose their mother, bro.
simply a bystander caught up in a tragic situation, or if he knows more than he's letting on.
Go hit that like button, y'all.
The next day, Detective Turney would get his answer, as police received an unexpected call from a man named Josh Hall. Josh was an acquaintance of Matthew Miller and claimed he'd recently witnessed something that deeply concerned him, directly related to the strange disappearances. Investigators quickly arranged for a meeting with Josh, hoping his account would finally provide the breakthrough they were looking for.
Hey man, what's going on with Matthew, man? That's my chick's cousin. Check this out, man. Check this out.
That's all me.
Check this out, man. Yesterday, alright, was at Kelly's. Right, Sean went to go talk to you. And I guess he had to go talk to you or something. Talk to the cops. He goes in Kelly's in the garage, stashes a bag in the ceiling. Gun, Jack, his wife's IDs, some clothes, some other shit. Everything, just stashes it there. Says he had to go talk to the cops. I was there. I was in there. Sean killed all 3 of them, man. I'm telling you, he murked all 3 of them people, man. He's putting it off on Martha that they ran off and everything. Why in the I don't know, man. Kelly's like my sister. I know all it, you know. I killed all 3. I know he did, man. I know he did. He did, man. I'm telling you. Come on, they find the truck right by his house. You know what I'm saying? And he was throwing the trip here with it. You know what I mean? Like, Martha was his chick. Martha was there.
By himself. Get rid of the bodies.
He's a smart man.
His kid?
Come on, look how long they've been missing for. He just barely reported his wife missing. His wife's been missing since like the 23rd. Since last month, you know what I mean? She's been missing the same time Matt's been missing. And after he left and everything, went to go talk to you, Kelly went in there and opened that and everything. Was just strapped, her IDs, some other personal stuff for her, some clothes, and
What did she do with it?
she wigged out. I had her with me the whole time. She was tripping. Oh. And then Danny Limos took off with it.
He was there too when it
Danny
happened?
Limos took the gun. Took the strap.
Yo, this shit is like, bro. I'm listening to this. This shit is insane. Like, he got like the storyline. This shit is crazy, bro. We still got 30 minutes left of this.
Danny walking.
Excuse me.
That he was walking. I'm telling you, man. Like he said to me yesterday. That's how I tied everything together yesterday when he did that. You know what I mean? Like I know he lost them 3, man. I know he did.
Josh claims that Sean arrived at the residence of a woman named Kelly DeSoto, carrying a bag he carefully hid in the ceiling of her home before leaving to speak with detectives at the police station. After Sean left, Kelly discovered the hidden bag, removed a gun from inside, and handed it off to a man named Danny Lemos, locally known as Dog, who quickly took the weapon and left on foot. When Sean returned and realized the bag was missing, he became visibly agitated, smashing his phone on the ground before storming out. These troubling claims raised immediate suspicion around everyone involved, including 2 new persons of interest, Kelly DeSoto and Daniel Lemos, both closely associated with Sean and
This is
Jennifer based
fucking
on Josh's
insane.
statement. Danny Lemos was nowhere to be found at the time, so Detective Turney knew he urgently needed to verify Josh's account by speaking directly with Kelly, and more importantly, find out if she was hiding anything that could help connect the dots in this increasingly tangled case.
I'm about to say, it should keep adding more and more and more people. This shit is insane.
When investigators first arrived at Kelly's house, she agreed to meet them at the station for an interview, but refused their offer of a ride, saying her boss would bring her in about 30 minutes. However, when the time came, Kelly never showed up at the police station. It was a major red flag, and it made investigators even more suspicious of her. 2 hours later, Detective Turney returned to her house, suspecting that Kelly might be stalling for time or trying to cover something up.
No. It's Robert, Ben. The detectives.
Hi.
Ready?
She hasn't gotten here yet. So I talked to my lawyer, and he told me that I didn't have to go with you guys.
You don't have to.
What is it about? Can you tell me?
It's about the disappearance of
Of who?
Matthew Miller and Jennifer Lehman. Sean Lehman.
Sean is not missing.
I know he's not.
This time, Kelly's behavior was noticeably different. She appeared distraught, reluctant to cooperate, and quick to mention her lawyer. Detective Turney felt certain that she was withholding crucial information and decided to press harder.
Was Sean here yesterday?
He came out yesterday.
How many times?
Golly, 5 times.
Well, he just
He came inside. He told me that he had to go down and report Jennifer missing.
did Sean hide anything in the house that was later taken?
Oh no.
Did he destroy his phone?
Yeah, right here. I forgot. He destroyed his phone.
Did he bring a bag inside?
Oh yeah, he's persistent. She drives such a shit, even though
Had
it's facts. Yo, she definitely is. But it's like, bruh, it's either like, and it's like you trying not to say nothing, but you already saying enough. You might as well just say the full shit. Either don't say anything, or say it all. You know what I'm saying? She's saying half of it, so now they know you know more, because it's like you telling half the truth that they know. You feel me? They know half of it. So they're like, all right, yeah, he did smash his phone. He did do this. But you telling me he came in 5 times. He ain't coming with a bag like the nigga said. But he came and smashed his phone. What was the reason he smashed his phone? You feel me? Why would he just come by and just smash his phone? You feel me? It's like, it's so easy. Just like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
No.
Or any of Jennifer's identification cards?
I
And
didn't see
did you look in it?
No, I didn't see.
Did Danny Lemos take the gun later?
No.
Do you think he did something to Jennifer and Matthew?
Oh, he's being persistent. He don't even care. He like, oh yeah, I need to get these information.
I honestly don't. He doesn't seem
Like
like
the way
that
he
type
moves.
of person.
I think you're lying to me about the bag and the gun and Jennifer's ID.
I'm not. I don't know anything about. Like he asked me. He said, "Where's
You didn't bring
my?"
anything in.
Yeah, no, I didn't see him bring anything
Well, you're forgetting what I already spoke with.
in. I know.
Sean has some stuff in your shed.
Yeah, he doesn't move it. I don't know. Any question?
Happened yesterday?
No, I don't think so.
Have you went through it?
No.
After some more pressure, Kelly admitted she had several suspicious bags in her shed, supposedly belonging to Sean. Curious about the contents of the bags,
This is
Detectives
crazy.
quickly
My bad.
followed Kelly to take a
It's
closer
crazy.
look.
I'm pretty sure yeah. I couldn't. That box there is not his. I don't think. I'm sure it's not. And that paint can is not his.
This one? What about this one?
That's his. That's his. Oh, did you let him off your shelf?
On Jackson? Really? She let us search that thing from head to toe. And outside too.
Despite their best efforts, detectives found no clear signs of blood or evidence linking back to the missing people.
Okay.
It was a frustrating dead end.
Yeah, this is
The
crazy,
chances
bro.
of finding them seemed increasingly slim.
This is just crazy, bro.
At this stage, investigators had narrowed down their focus to several individuals close to the missing trio, each with conflicting stories and questionable behavior that kept detectives on edge. But without hard evidence, options were increasingly running out. Desperate for a breakthrough, Detective Turney secured a search warrant for Sean and Jennifer's former home at 817 Kingman Avenue. Unsure exactly what or who they might encounter, officers cautiously approached the property, prepared for any potential threat.
Okay. Excuse me. They hit me different. This is crazy.
Yet again, investigators were too late. The house had already undergone extensive renovations, carpets removed, drywall stripped, any potential evidence completely erased. Unbeknownst to investigators at the time, the critical evidence they desperately needed was sitting in an abandoned truck, miles away, just waiting to be discovered.
My bad. I keep clicking.
For
that
now,
shit,
though, every possible lead was exhausted, and Detective
Get my
Turney
hand off
knew
the mouth.
it was time for a more direct approach. So he called Sean once more, determined to extract something, anything, that could finally lead investigators to the missing trio.
Hello?
Hey, is it Sean?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Sean, this is Detective Turney. How are you doing?
Good, how are you doing today?
Good, man. I've been trying to get a hold of your other number, and it's not working. So,
No, I apologize. Sorry.
so you know anything new?
No, I haven't heard anything. Nope.
Okay. Are you still around town?
No, I'm in Albuquerque.
No, we've made some progress here and there. I've got a bunch of pictures of different vehicles. I'd like you to take a look at, see if you could help me identify them.
Good time tomorrow. I wanted to come in and stuff I gotta return to the school.
Okay. All right, just make sure the kids are taken care of, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
All right,
Thanks, sir.
we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Thanks, man.
Sean sounded cooperative and willing to help, promising Detective Turney he would come in for questioning. Yet, Sean never showed up. The next day, Turney even offered to personally pick Sean up and bring him to the station. But once again, Sean failed to appear. At this point, Turney felt certain Sean was deliberately stalling and knew they couldn't afford to waste any more time. He's done playing cat and mouse.
Since you're already playing
Yeah,
games
he
anyway,
playing.
why not
That
earn
nigga-
some
that
free
nigga
rewards
Sean
while
is
you're at it?
playing.
All you need to do is download Buff, let it run in the background.
He's definitely playing games.
With the
Yeah,
CCTV footage and witness statements pointing directly at Sean and Danny as crucial figures, Detective Turney knew he needed to bring them in for questioning. So investigators dug deeper into both men's backgrounds, and that's when they hit the jackpot. Sean had an outstanding warrant for missing a court appearance related to a 2020 assault and battery charge. It was the break they needed. On February 25th, officers located Sean in Albuquerque and arrested him without incident, transporting him directly to the Grants Police Department for questioning. Detective Turney's goals for the interview were simple: determine exactly what Sean knew about the missing trio and find out where Danny Lemos had vanished after taking the alleged gun.
Let's go back to Matthew's truck. Okay, so it starts to back in there And you're the last one who drove it. Right. So let's go backward from when you parked it. Where did you go with it that day? Do you remember specifically?
The only places I ever traveled was one time to McDonald's. I thought that was the last day we ever used it. And I got Smith's, we got water, food, Walmart, that's it. Is there a tracker on the truck? My phone was always on, like, pull the line on it. I'm not going in the mountains. I have children. I don't have any bodies. Like, I was a medic in the Army. Like, I have 3 kids.
I don't think you're capable of doing something like this. I think you're very capable of defending yourself, though. An accident happens.
If it was an accident, I would be like, that's self-defense, because self-defense is peaceful, but literally, no. The biggest fear in my house, why the pistol stayed in the house, was had a dog. Like, that guy scares me. I'm not gonna lie about it.
Yeah.
So.
Who told you to park it there? Justin?
Justin was there at the house, talking with, they're all chewing on the soup.
Who's all there?
Jennifer, Justin, and
Matthew.
And he gets a boatload of pills from him. And they're like, we're going to go score. I mean, they didn't know money, nothing.
So you take the truck and the kids.
No, they leave the truck. And literally, I'm like, well, I need to go. Like, can I get some fucking groceries or some shit?
Okay.
And literally,
I get some
what
groceries.
are we doing with the truck? He's like, leave it. I'm like, yeah, leave the shit here. Like, no. I was like, I can park in front. No, I need to go to the dumpsters. I need to go to $1 for water.
And so they told you in the house, when you're done with it, to park it at the Lubbock Apartments.
Matthew wanted to park it down the street. He said, no, my buddy's over there near the apartments. Just leave it there.
As the interview continued, Sean seemed to have an answer for everything, including the CCTV footage, claiming he only moved the truck at Matthew and Justin's request. He also appeared to casually downplay the entire incident, insisting the trio's disappearances were simply part of a drug-related business venture, nothing criminal. But Detective Turney wasn't buying it. He knew Sean's explanation didn't match witness statements, and his earlier actions were too suspicious to ignore. But without solid proof, Turney couldn't directly refute Sean's story. So, to move forward, Detective Turney changed tactics. He decided to deliberately introduce Danny Lemos into the conversation, offering Sean an easy scapegoat. If Sean took the bait, Turney might finally uncover what Sean was hiding, or at least gain insight into what really happened to the missing trio.
This is crazy.
Did Danny kill him?
I have no idea. I literally spent most of my time with the kids. If I had to guess who would kill him, it would be the guy saying, if I gotta dispose of bodies, I'm gonna put him in my pig. And he showed me the pig one day because I was helping him at his house.
This is... Oh, Sean.
I don't have any answers for Matthew. I don't know much about him. Talk to Dog. If someone's gonna move a body and put it somewhere, my guess, the creepy dude that talks about pigs with everything but eyeballs. I'm like, who would know that? Like, this dude's, I'm scared of dog. So, but my kids are scared of dog. I'm scared of dog. I don't know what the fuck I'd be afraid of it. I'm ashamed of it. But we hid in the house. We didn't go anywhere. I definitely didn't leave my kids for 5 hours. I couldn't find the look of the other one.
Just as planned, the moment Danny Lemos' name came up, Sean seized the opportunity and implicated him, pointing to Danny's violent nature and even suggesting his ability to dispose of bodies using pigs. Beyond those accusations, however, Sean stuck to his story for the rest of the interview, denying any involvement in the disappearance. Without solid proof against him, detectives had no choice but to end their questioning. Still, Sean wasn't completely free. His outstanding warrant for failure to appear in court meant he'd spend the next 7 days in custody, and officers immediately transported him to the local jail. Investigators spent the following week interviewing acquaintances, re-examining evidence, and piecing together scattered leads. During their interview, one detail caught Detective Turney's attention: the mysterious red Ford truck that was spotted parked outside Sean's residence, later leaving with unknown contents loaded in the back. Investigators had not yet located this truck, and Turney strongly suspected it might hold something crucial to their case. For now, though, 3 people remained missing missing, and police narrowed their focus to two prime suspects. Sean Lannon, who was recorded on surveillance driving Matthew's truck and potentially connected to the missing red truck, and Danny Lemos, who allegedly received a handgun connected to Sean before disappearing himself. With each passing day, Turney grew more convinced that the missing trio had been murdered and that their two prime suspects likely held the answers. But the window to find something conclusive was quickly closing, because on March 3rd, Sean completed his short jail sentence and was released back onto the streets, significantly raising the stakes. Now facing the possibility of losing another prime suspect, Detective Turney knew he had to act fast. All he needed was just one single lead, some hint of where the bodies might be hidden.
Ooh.
On March 5th, officers received a call from the security at Albuquerque's Sunport Airport about an abandoned red Ford Ranger, eerily similar to the one from surveillance footage gathered during the investigation. What officers found inside would confirm the gruesome truth they'd been searching for.
Kind of smells. Kind of smells, but I mean, not to like decompose it or anything. You know what I mean?
This is crazy. I ain't gonna lie. This is actually insane.
I got you guys out here, huh?
Yeah.
We called it in by 1:30, but they said they didn't want to. They didn't want to send anybody out here.
There's a pretty foul smell coming from the vehicle.
Yeah.
Every so often. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah, I can't really tell what it was. It didn't really sound like. I couldn't really think it smelled like decomp body or something like that, but I don't know. Yeah, I can smell something, but I can't really tell what it was. It also smelled like dirty, like VO almost, but yeah, I don't know. But we'll check the video and all that good stuff, so.
VO?
In the back of the truck were
body
several
odor?
sealed storage bins, emitting an unmistakable smell of decay. And inside were the dismembered bodies of Jennifer Lannon, Matthew Miller, and Justin Mata. Jennifer had been shot at close range in the head. Justin had also suffered a gunshot wound to the head, along with severe blunt force injuries. And Matthew's body showed clear signs of massive head trauma, evidence he'd also been beaten to death. But the horrors didn't end there. Hidden beneath a tarp in the passenger seat was yet another body. Randall Apostolon, the truck's owner. His body showed signs of severe blunt force trauma, and a bloodied hammer found nearby was clearly the weapon used to kill him. Investigators found more disturbing evidence inside the truck. Multiple serrated knives stained with dried blood, a handsaw, and several pairs of industrial gloves, all clearly pointing to a calculated, cold-blooded murder. It was still unclear to investigators why Randall had been murdered or how his death was connected to the other three, but they wouldn't have to wait long to find out. Detectives urgently turned to the Albuquerque airport surveillance cameras, knowing the truck hadn't driven itself there. And it didn't take long before they spotted exactly who they were looking for.
This is crazy, though.
Capacitor course check is okay.
On March 3rd, 2021, just 2 days before the gruesome discovery, the airport's cameras captured Sean Lannon driving the truck into the airport parking lot, exiting the vehicle, and leaving behind the bodies of his 4 victims. Finally, detectives found their killer. It was time to track Sean down and bring him in. On the same day the bodies were discovered, police urgently scrambled to track down Sean Lannon, but it was already too late. Sean had slipped out of Albuquerque and vanished. Immediately, the U.S. Marshals issued a nationwide alert believing Sean posed an active threat and was possibly on a violent crime spree. Authorities across multiple states joined the manhunt to track him down before anyone else was harmed.
Nah, this is crazy.
Then, on March 9th, Detective Turney received a disturbing call. U.S. Marshals informed him that Sean Lannon was now wanted in connection to another murder, this one committed just a day earlier in New Jersey. Authorities had linked Sean to the murder of Michael Debkowski through witness statements and surveillance footage that placed him directly at the scene. A quick background check also revealed the victim wasn't a random target. Debkowski was someone Sean had personally known for many years. It was an alarming detail that made it clear Sean's violent spree was far from over. Now, with 5 bodies discovered and a serial killer on the loose, police knew anyone in Sean Lannon's circle could be next, and they had to act fast. Federal authorities urgently tracked Sean's movements, closely monitoring surveillance footage and cell phone data. And finally, on the morning of March 10th, U.S. Marshals pinpointed Sean's location in St. Louis, Missouri, and they quickly moved in and captured him without incident.
How did he go from Jersey? They said a day earlier from Jersey all the way to St. Missouri. This nigga was moving. Nah, this shit is crazy. How the fuck do they move this fast? These killers be moving like them motherfuckers, like Jason and them niggas, bro. For real, like them nigga went from Jersey to St. Missouri. I don't know how far that is, but he did that and then just hopped on a plane and just bounced out. Cause there's no way they weren't at the airports, right? Like, you feel me? Like, but I don't know. They don't know where he's gonna go next. So it's like, that's tough to, that's insane.
Sean Lannon was immediately extradited back to New Jersey, finally putting an end to his killing spree. By now, the evidence against Sean Lannon was overwhelming. Investigators had more than enough to charge him, but there were still critical questions that only Sean could answer. They still needed to understand exactly why he committed these horrific murders and determine whether he acted alone or if others helped him carry out and conceal evidence. When Detective Turney sat down face to face with Sean, he expected more lies and deception, but surprisingly, Sean didn't resist or deny anything. Instead, he resigned to his fate, openly admitting he was tired of running and knew his capture was inevitable. In his own words, he simply wanted it to be over. So, with nothing left to hide, Sean would give detectives exactly what they hoped for: a chilling, detailed account of the murders and the twisted reasons behind each one.
Jen was already out with her. Wasn't enough to take her life. So she wanted me to make sure she went too, for sure. Because I realized she was breathing. She wasn't gonna OD. I went in the other room, psyched myself up, repeating that kind of emotionally charged statement of, "You killed the Garrison baby." So I had nothing whatever to do it. I put that pistol on her head, and I pulled the trigger. Just went level. A couple seconds later, I was positioned on the bed too. I put that pistol in my mouth. Put the handle up. Just past my teeth. My son cried out. I was like, what do I do now? Pull the trigger, kid's gonna see both of our heads went off. I rolled off the rounds out of the gun, put it in the dresser. Closed the bedroom door, got the kids normal, set them up to be in the other room. We didn't have a vehicle. And John's boyfriend drove in the truck on the car end. So I pretty much lived here so we could be out. So a storage bed, a long one. The sheets that were around here, the bedding was in the bag, in the box too. A day later, I tried to dismember her to put her in containers at work. It was awful and traumatic. Just thinking about it just still haunts me. I knew I was living on borrowed time at that point, so I needed to get my kids somewhere safe to cope.
This shit is insane,
packing
bro.
everything up, all the while still mating just a month. He's responsible for the drugging and doing that to my kids. So like a week, I came to the house. So I was in the laundry room, connected to the garage. That's where I killed him. Just before I killed him, he offered up a trade. His phone had pictures of Shawn Michael standing there naked in my living room. I don't know what his name, the boy, or Matthew Miller, whatever that his name is, with his on my son's shoulders. I was like, who sent you this picture? He's like, I don't know it's real. He's like, I took.
Nah, wait, whoa, that's insane. What on his son's shoulders? Nah, whoa. What the fuck?
I was like, who sent you this picture? He's like, I don't know it's real. He's like, I took the picture. I was like, well, you took that picture. And he just advanced the guy in the picture. So, I said, there it is. You know, he was right over the van where Jim with Hyder. He wanted.
Nah,
he
that's
wanted to
crazy.
video shot before it took his life. So I said, well, if you find any in the vent, so he literally was looking down in the vent. You can see it coming. So I shot him in the back of the head. It was something I was proud of. He's a pretty tall dude. I had the dismemberment at some point a day or two later.
Bro, this nigga's crazy.
That's gross. They had to work up the nerves to move his bodies. So there's so much blood. That's why I had to pull the floor up in that room. I still have a room that was the flooring that was pulled up in the kid's bedroom. A piece of landlord never fixed the water leak. And the carpet got molded. It was unsafe. The carpet was outside the house, so it was the padding if they slept through some other reason. It was still there when it left. It took 2 hours before I had enough the ability to come near Justin.
When you got Justin over there, was this shortly after? Like how long between the time that you shoot Jennifer, that you shoot Justin?
It was at least a week. It took a while.
Did you get him to floor?
I was baiting this if I was Jennifer on the phone. Yeah.
So you thought you was to meet Jennifer?
Yeah. I also had pictures of Daniel Lemos and my son. I never got my hands on Daniel Lemos. I fully intended as I was heading back to New Mexico for work. Like yesterday.
You know where Danny is?
If I did, it'd be in the box. So then I had the three of them. Probably that kid comes over, William or Matthew, or whatever his name is, comes over with Felicity, his girlfriend. She looked like she was like 12 years old. And I should her name on the don't have to. So he's like, they're looking for money for anything. I'm like, I give you a food card. I like, just take like $40. It's like, all I need is later in the week, give me a ride to get some water. And I've been less drinking no water. So one of those times he came back, he didn't have Felicity. And that's when I shot him in the back of the head. I had one of his vehicles in Albuquerque. At some point he brought me the box that put him in the back. I couldn't come up with enough money to get the vehicle, so he was gonna take the truck back, so I found somewhere else for the boxes of base storage containers. I was gonna hold them for $150. He wanted another $300 once we got to his place. Randy wanted another $300 to hold the boxes. So I didn't have $300. So basically, I'm gonna drop you back off. So we left, came back to the Pearl. The box was still in the back. Pulled in right there. We got in the fight. I killed him in the front seat. He was in the driver's seat.
Throughout his confession, Sean remained eerily composed,
This
showing
is
almost
crazy.
no emotions. Even more chilling is the fact that just hours after dismembering the bodies and brutally killing Randall, Sean was picked up by police on an unrelated warrant and sat across from Detective Turney, coldly denying any involvement, while a truck full of bodies was parked just a few blocks away.
So Tuesday, I took I grabbed the truck, and I didn't know what to do with it. I don't know anybody. What do you do with the body? So I knew at some point it was going to get caught. I just wanted my kids back home. I took them to the airport the day before. And I positioned them. Just everything was the same. Secured the vehicle. That's an obvious. And then I took I believe it was an Uber. Took it home, right to the Pearl. The next day we flew out. I'm waiting on time. Again, at some point they would find the bodies. I said, airport in the box. And last thing on my list was the man that was me as a child, my big brother. Big brothers, big sisters, whatever. They got pictures too. Wanted the pictures back. He didn't want to give me the pictures, so I started beating. Then he gave me the pictures. It took his life. So I'm proud of that.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, he really does, bro. Like, he looks like crazy now. But yo, nah, I ain't gonna lie. He's just like, killed him too. And then after it, most of them, he's like he's saying right now, I'm not proud of it. Like, bro, he has, but it's like behind his voice, it just sounds like no remorse.
It took his life. So I'm proud of that. I'm proud of it. I did fine time. I'll make it back to finish 10 Lemos.
The last victim in Sean's killing spree was his former mentor, Michael Debkowski, a man Sean accused of abusing him during childhood and believed still had photographs of that abuse. When Debkowski refused to hand over those photographs, Sean killed him without hesitation. But just as detectives thought they heard everything from Sean, he would make one final shocking statement. There were even more bodies waiting to be found.
What? Bro, what?
And so the other 11, you said started about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago?
The other
And
11?
you disarmed them from guns, and you said knives?
Knives, whatever. At some point, I had like almost like a pickaxe with a pistol mark.
11, bro,
Like a pickaxe.
16?
Was like if you had to think back, like how many out of the 11 were shot and how many were stabbed? Like if you can elaborate on any of that.
2 were shot.
2. And then how many were stabbed?
Pretty much the rest of them, another one.
The rest of them. So 9.
According to Sean, he'd killed at least 11 additional people, mostly drug dealers tied to Jennifer, and hidden their bodies in remote areas of Malpais National Park. Detectives approached these claims cautiously, knowing Sean was a skilled manipulator who mixed truths with calculated lies. Perhaps this was his last attempt to influence the outcome of his trial later on. But despite extensive searches, no additional bodies were ever discovered, and Sean's claims remained unverified. Detectives also investigated one of the key persons of interest directly implicated by Sean himself, Danny Lemos. He was located in Albuquerque and arrested by U.S. Marshals on March 25th, 2021. Danny agreed to speak with Detective Turney, firmly denying any involvement and expressing shock that Sean was even capable of these horrific crimes. He admitted taking the handgun Sean had hidden at Kelly's house, but claimed he had no idea it was tied to a murder and had quickly sold it afterwards. After exhaustive interviews and reviewing all available evidence, detectives eventually cleared Danny, along with all other potential suspects, ultimately concluding Sean acted entirely alone.
Which is insane.
In October 2022, Sean pleaded guilty to the first-degree murder of Michael Debkowski in New Jersey. He was sentenced to 35 years in prison, and in May 2024, he pleaded guilty to killing Jennifer Lannon, Justin Mata, Matthew Miller, and Randall Apostolone, receiving 4 consecutive 15-year sentences. As part of his plea agreement, Sean will serve his sentence in New Jersey first, then return to New Mexico to serve an additional 60 years behind bars.
Bro, no way, bro. No fucking way, bro. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. That was insane. That was cops discover car filled with serial killer victims. That's just insane, bro. Let me know how y'all feel about that reaction, that video, all that down below in the comments, man. Once again, I'm live on Twitch right now in the making of this video at Ben's Go Crazy, man. Make sure you tap in. Ooh, excuse me. But hey, I'm gonna catch y'all on the next reaction, man. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. It's your boy BGC, aka Bands Go Crazy. And I'm out this thing, man. Gang.